We are live. Peace, family. We in the building.
Peace.
As y'all come in the chat, as y'all come into class to the sermon, bring y'all's questions related to genealogy. We got the expert on deck. Minister Mia in the building. Everybody give a round of applause. Yes. So, this is going to be a jam-packed session for you guys on genealogy. But before we do that, we're going to let y'all come in, let y'all warm up. We're going to go over the bulletin real quickly just so that people know what's going on. I think today the brothers have finished the event as far as what you call it, as far as the health fair related to the, or not the health fair, but the fathers camp, whatever money in Maryland. Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So be sure to go to that if it's still happening. If not, hopefully y'all did attend. Get ready for the Ramadan Ball or the Arna Ball, December 28th in ATL, right? And that's going to be jam packed with a lot of ethogens, full bar, and all that stuff. So it's going to be a good time. Right. And then what's the last thing? Oh yeah, then we have the powwow in April. So get ready for that in Dallas, Texas. And then I think that's it right now. If I'm missing something, please forgive me. Um, but yeah, we'll let y'all roll in, bring y'all's genealogy questions. Peace, everybody coming in the building. And I'm gonna give it one more minute before I let you get started, Minister Mia. I'm gonna post it again that we are live. Let me see. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see. Make sure everybody sees it. I'm gonna post it again. Copy. How y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling? Peace. God, you in the building. Go get your cacao from AboSheetCacao.com. Let's see. Right here, we are live. We are live. Cool. All right, Sister Mia. Mr. Mia, the floor is yours.
The floor is mine.
Yep.
Peace, family. I am Sister Mia She uh, with the Aboriginal Republic of North America, Region 6. I'm here following up with next steps to your family tree. The last time we met, we did the what's the name? Getting started with your family tree. And if you were here, you should have done your homework, which was I think it was going to the second generation, second or third generation grandparents. So
Yep.
I'm not sure if anybody in here was here from last time. I can't tell, but we're going to start from that part. Just a brief summary of why research or family history. Sometimes you just want to know,
And we
like,
got somebody
what
who did their
gave
homework assignment right here.
we got somebody. You want to know your heritage, where you descended from, what your ancestors were like. Did somebody, you draw and everybody else in your family sing, and you want to know where that came from, or you're taller than everybody else in the family, so you may have tall people further back in your lineage. But just and to find out who you're related to, and those things. And it's good to know history as far as what are some of the things that they did, what are some of the things that they actually went through, versus what you read, what somebody else is telling us what our families went through and stuff. So If you did the first part, what you did was go through and you jotted down what you knew about your family already. And then from that point, you would start with your, after your parents, start with your oldest living relatives. Once you go outside of your house and get information from them about, other relatives, and go back as far as you can and ask questions about, um, what, just different things, what type of uh, skills they had. Did they own land? Did they have stores? Different things that they did. And then uh, go as far back as you can. And then that's when you would sit down and organize your findings into some type of a spreadsheet or a tree, or if you purchased my book, you can fill it out in there. Um,
Where can they find your book at?
Shameless plug. Edible Genealogy. So you started to fill that in. You either got a free Ancestry account or a paid account, or a Family Search account. And it could be some other things out there that's available. WikiTree also has free, where you can put a tree up on there also. And so you plug in everything in that tree, and then you look to find the connections from there. And then some of the things, what you may have run into. Let me see, where's the presentation?
I can add to the stage.
Okay. And let's see. All right. So this is what we talked about. You did all your research that you could do so far, your initial research, and that's mostly talking. You looked up census information, missing pieces of information. One family member may have known when somebody was born, and another one knew that they moved from different states and different things like that. If they had multiple marriages, if they served in the military, those type of things. And so you gathered all this information, and you want to narrow it down. Where do I start? Because you have so much. Where do you start? So one thing that's suggested is that you select either the maternal side or the paternal side. Maternal being the mother's side of the family, and paternal being the father's side of the family. So determine which one, and then focus on that, because it's easy to get distracted and become overwhelmed trying to do everything all at once. And so say you want to focus on your maternal side, then you're going to look for your mother, her mother and father, and so on and so forth, her grandparents, and so on and so forth. But you're going to focus on one person at a time. So you may get several names, you may get names all the way up to the 5th generation, but when you're digging deeper, you're going to start at that person closest to you and go from there and work your way backwards. Okay. Now, where am I going to look after I've exhausted all my family members? And most of the time they don't remember who was what, and I don't remember that. And if you don't have no records from the reunion, no hard copy of anything like a Bible record or something like that, then you're going to be digging with what you have. And some of the other places that you can look are local. Look for vital records, birth records, death records.
So what would you say?
Baptismals.
What would you say? What would you say to somebody who says that, listen, my father who's listed on the birth certificate is not my father, because of a situation. And so as a result, I don't know who my father is, and nor does my mother want to revisit that.
Oh, that's a good one. uh,
And nobody's talking about it. Like, so the person doesn't know
nobody.
the father side at all. He doesn't know the father side at all.
Nobody is talking about it.
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's a good one. Cause I don't know.
Because that's
I know what people have done. I know what people have done, gone and get the DNA just to see, if they match up to a particular person, finding a father or a mother, for that effect, and found fathers, because I had somebody in what you exactly explained in that situation
Mhm.
where nobody knew, and then the mother didn't want to say.
Mhm.
And so that person did the DNA, and it led them to the person that would have been their father. So I don't really know another way, um, if they're not listed on anything, and there's
Mhm.
no family member that's telling you, hey, you know, like, at the Thanksgiving dinner, and your auntie like, that ain't your daddy. Mama used to go around the so and so house, and because that's, that was our case, with the grandfather. So we had the different name on the birth certificate, on my mom's birth certificate. So, but it wasn't her father, and that was verified through family members, other family members, but not, he wasn't on record as being her father.
Yeah.
And so that's, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know that a private investigator could figure that out, because if everybody's denying it and nobody's saying anything, how do you prove it? But that's, I'm not into DNA, so into all that. So, but that could be a way to find, a father, a mother, or something like that, because they look at your genes and all of that good stuff.
Mhm.
Um, Now, and that's what these records are that you're looking at. These are considered primary source records. So they're actual records, like an actual birth certificate, an actual marriage certificate, death certificate, and as far as the death certificate, it's only as good as the person who gave the information. Because if that person don't know, that person didn't really know the background of their friend or whoever that died, they're only going to give the information to what they know, and it could
Yeah.
be incorrect. So I ran into that too. But it does give you a lead. It does give you leads to follow. So don't always get caught up that something is perfectly correct, especially for a death certificate.
Mhm.
Um, Let me see. So you can go to the county and the city and the county and go through their records. Now, a lot of them are putting records online now, but there's nothing like going in person and seeing what's there, because you may come across some other things that wasn't looking for.
Mhm.
But I would just take pictures of those things. But when you go there, focus on what you went there for. And then just if you see something else, take a picture of it, put it to the side, and keep on with what you're there for, because time be flying.
Yeah.
And what else you have? Historical and genealogical societies. You can I would contact them first, and see, a lot of times they have different hours, or they have things online, and then you can get, a lot of times they have memberships, or memberships where you can join the membership, you'll get a lot more information that way because the members are willing to share. Some people have research areas that you're looking into, and they have that information to share, but more readily than if you wasn't a member. And then let's see. If you go somewhere like the National Archives, you definitely want to call them first because a lot of times they have rules like you can't use your own pencil, you can't take a notebook, you can take a piece of paper, you can't bring no lunch in there, you can't, they have strict rules. So you have to contact them first before you go out there. And sometimes they have tests for you to take, a little test so you can get your card and be ready for when you actually go there. And then another thing, when you call ahead of time for these the genealogical and historical societies, they can sometimes pull things for you and have it ready. So make sure you consider doing that. And then
they do it for
library.
free?
Some of them, not that I know of, they don't charge. But some of them, when you get to when you need to make copies,
Okay,
there may be a fee involved. And then
Yeah.
some will let you bring your own, like you can take pictures of certain things, and others they have them scanners, the little scanners, portable scanners. They'll let you use certain types, but you would have to look into that first. They'll tell you what type you can use, and a lot of times it has to be something that's small. It can't make a lot of noise. You can't feed a bunch of sheets in at once. You'll be scanning one sheet at a time because they have to preserve those documents. Make sure those documents stay preserved. And let's see. If you have a genealogical library, like here in Dallas, we have on the 8th floor. The 8th floor has a genealogical section, and they have all the states, and they have rows of books and censuses and all kind of stuff on the local areas for all those different states. So if you have that, that's good because they have the maps, they have things that go back, they got microfiche, they got all kind of stuff. So if you have one, go there just to look around and see what all they have before you actually go there and try to do research, because I guarantee you, if you go there to do research first, you're not going to get it done because you're going to be looking at all the stuff that they have there. So do that. And sometimes they offer classes to show you how to use their items. And a lot of times you bring a flash drive and they'll let you scan. They have scanners there, and you can scan on their scanners and send stuff to yourself through emails or whatever. It's the Dallas Library, Dallas Main Library. What is the name of it? Central, I think it's called Eric something, Central Library.
Yeah.
Chrisen, Eric Kyson or something like that.
Yeah. Let me see.
So somebody can look that up.
Yes.
It's the Dallas Main Library. I can't think of the name of the street.
You're talking about the J. Eric Johnson Central Library.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and they're open. I believe they're closed on Monday.
Yeah.
Mondays.
Yeah, they're closed on
Monday. Because I've been there on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. It's really nice, and you can get overwhelmed walking up in there too. And then another place is the Family Search Center. They're affiliated with Family Search and the Jesuits. I believe I'm saying that right. The Jesuits and
Yep.
the people in Utah that have the records, in the mountain in Utah. They are connected, and they have family search centers all over, all over, and they have some in other countries also. And
Yep.
you can go there and use their computers because you can only have access to so much from home. And that's another thing. Your library card will get you access to some ancestry, the library edition. You'll get like the library edition. So they'll give you a little more access to some things from home. And then the Family Search Center, I have one like 4 miles from me. So I don't know how in every state, if they have so many of them that you can get to one that's not really too far. But they have volunteers there that can help you. And sometimes they can't help you because they know what they know. They know what they know. They know how to find stuff about, they people. But when it comes to your people, we gonna be digging. So it's like a little more harder to find, but it's there. It's there. It just takes a lot more work. Um, so a lot of times I go to one and they real nice. They offer to help and everything, and I'll be like, yeah, can you show me such something? Then when I realize, okay, I'm good. I got it. So don't get frustrated. At least they can point you, where the stuff is on the computer. They can show you, where to find certain things and point you in the right direction. Then there's a lot of paid subscriptions to things that you may not need, but Family Search is really good as far as being free and having a lot of information that you can get online. Any questions so far?
Don't think so. You good?
Okay. Some of the things to be mindful of when you're doing research. I don't know. I know with a lot of us, our family members will name their children after the father,
Mm-hmm.
and the father may have 10 kids, and 5 of them kids name one of their children after that same father.
Yes.
so, so you have to be mindful because you may see birthdays that's similar or close to another birthday, and it ain't the wrong birthday, it's 2 different people.
Two different
So
people.
just be mindful of that and look at the family members, follow the family members that's in that census, and just follow them through that. And you can also look at the neighbors, the people who were living around them, because a lot of times they travel together. If they move together. Um, and then here you got the names. When there may be different ways they said the names back then. Like for example, Elizabeth on this one, we got what, Lizbeth. And then
Yeah.
yeah, that Lizbeth. You got Beth, Bessie, Elsie, Lisa, Lizzie. So you may see each one of those names on different documents, and they talking about the same person. So
Same.
you like, so he got married again, or you thinking all this stuff, but it's the same person. So you keep that in mind. Just make a note of it when you see it. And then the same, what I said with Robert Lee, there's short ways to write their names that they use. You may find there's a census. I don't know which one it is, but everybody got initials for some reason. A first initial and a second initial, and I don't know how the heck you supposed to know who the person is. So when you following them, you kind of track that stuff, and you might see it later when a person actually marries someone, and then they'll probably spell it out, or when they pass away on the Social Security documents, you'll see it'll say also known as, or it'll say, a date, and then it have that name, whatever other names that person used. So look at those type of things. When you're at the county, the county and local levels, and you're looking at records, or even on Family Search, there's usually a separate book that has colored, is labeled colored. So you may find a marriage book and you can't find your ancestor in there. Take another look and see if there's another book where they're labeled colored. You might see COL in the top right or left corner. It'll say COL. So pay attention to those things. Cemetery transcriptions, where find a grave. You'll see find a grave where people will take pictures of the graves, put them up there online, and then do a transcription. Now, you make sure you look at that headstone and see if it's the same as what the person wrote. And sometimes people will add stuff and it's not the right person. So
Yeah,
you have
and
to be careful.
I've seen it too, where they like will pull the newspaper information and then like tag it
Yes,
to, and I'm like,
yes,
it's not the same
yeah,
person.
that don't go. Yeah, yeah. And so you'll see that. So you got to be doing your due diligence. It's different when somebody doing their own stuff, but when they just helping per se, they just putting stuff, what they think it looks like, that's it. And be mindful, don't do that when you're doing your own research. Don't look at stuff and be, oh, that's my relative, just because the names match. You got to make sure actually is that person. Look at the parents, look at the children, look at the siblings,
Sometimes people, they say like
now
they have
is this,
right.
say that again?
I said some people go by nicknames. They don't even go by the name that was given to them.
Yes. Yeah, they'll put their nickname on there, on a record, on a you can't do that now, but back then,
Yeah.
Bessie, like really? Like yeah. And then you got people who know their family members by the nicknames, but they don't know the real names. You
Mhm.
know, Papa Joe and Uncle Chubby and all of that. Like, really? Is his name Chuck? Is that why y'all's call him Chubby? No, he had a big stomach. Like, okay. So,
Oh,
um, and then if you find things and you still have questions, or another question may come up, and you can go back to somebody and then say, did Uncle John ever marry somebody named Mary? And they'd be like, oh yeah, he did. I forgot about that. And they had 5 kids, and she left him. She was living out, went to Chicago or went to California. Just little things like that. Don't just give up because you find something but you don't have the connection. And then that person saying, hey, yeah, and they went to Chicago, and that triggers in your mind, okay, let me look at the census for that area. Let me look at the records for that area.
right.
um and I already said, don't just accept hints for that I ain't say that. Whatever. When
Hey,
you're on Ancestry, you'll get hints. I think you get hints in the free uh with the free subscription in Ancestry. Do they give you hints?
I think they do, but
If they give you hints and that hint is fine to look at. They're getting a lot better because used to didn't matter. They sometimes they pertain to your person and sometimes they don't. But look at that hint and see, is that your person? It may not be your person, but it may contain some clues to where to get to your person. So
yeah, yep.
consider that. Don't just accept the hint. And then family search, where they used to allow people to, anybody could go in there and change a tree. It could be your tree, whatever, and somebody can go in there and change your tree. And you like, who is this? You know, and so be mindful of that. It's supposed to be fixed right now, but I don't know.
You should be able to
I
do
haven't
it
put
where
no
it's
notice.
private and people can't see your tree
Yeah.
unless it's like public and all that stuff. So
Okay. And let's see. Okay. Black Pearls of Genealogy. This is a excellent website to get you started. Did I put the
it's
once you
the
go there, I put the link in there. And once you go there and go to their getting started, it'll walk you through everything. And he has put, I mean, anything you could think of. You got censuses, you got information about migrations, you got the Bureau of,
Indian Affairs,
say that again,
Bureau of Indian Affairs, or what?
the Bureau of Freedmen's Bureau. The Freedmen's Bureau, which is freedmen, refugees, which were normally the white ones were refugees, poor white people. And it's another group, but former slaves, freedmen. And then so it will have where, you know, they set up, the government set up people, troops or whatever, all around in these different states, mostly Southern, and that was to help them to adapt to being free. They provided like food rations and stuff like that. They was supposed to help the freedmen who were working for these plantations, making sure that these contracts were fair and that they were getting paid what they, you know, said they would pay them. And helping, in some cases, a lot of cases, helping people reunite with family members that had been either sold off or sent to other plantations and their families got disconnected. So you will see things like that. You will see a lot of the ill, where they sent people to asylums, hospitals, where I guess the insane asylums, the asylums were like the hospitals for the Black people, because they wasn't being seen in the white hospitals. So but you'll see those type of things. You'll find marriage certificates. There were a lot of people who married while they were enslaved, but there was no record. So once the Freedmen Bureau came along, a lot of them married, and then they kind of like said how long they've been married, versus they didn't have no dates or anything, or since such and such a time. And it'll say, did you get married? Did you have a previous marriage? Did you have children in that marriage? And it'll ask those kind of questions, but it's not, it's quick and it's not really thorough.
We got
But
a question for you, Minister Mia.
I don't know nothing about no Africans getting on a boat coming here, unless they was visiting or something. I don't know. I've always wondered how it ended up in slavery. Everyone was not enslaved.
Right.
There were indigenous people on this land
Already.
before. Yes, there were in what's Ali's book? There were indigenous people
They
on
lied
this
about
land
the slave trade. They lied about the slave trade.
Yeah, and he had one before then. He had one before that he talked about it in, and it makes a lot of sense. And there's other people who have also talked about these things. Everybody was not enslaved, and sometimes when you read some of the so-called slave, where they interviewed the slaves and stuff, the interviews, you will hear somebody, they'll be talking, you won't hear them, but you'll read where somebody's saying, okay, yeah, we lived here, and Freedman Joe used to come and visit us. So that's somebody that was enslaved talking about a freedman that lived down the street. You see what I'm saying? They had them that lived down the street, and then they were required to carry papers with them. You know, that manumission or whatever, they had to carry papers with them saying that they were free. So every year they had to pay, you know, like you renew your driver's license, they had to renew they papers saying that they was free. They're not supposed to walk around with the free papers and stuff. And remember the movie about the guy, 12 years a slave, he was free, and they snatched him up and took him down south. And but it was a lot of that going on. But then, you know, there were a lot of places where there was not slavery. And then you had people that were free. You had indigenous people. In some places they had slavery, but in other parts of that same state, they didn't even mess with people because they just didn't mess with them. They just left them alone. And so, you know, it just depended. And that's one of the important. Look at the time, and look at the what was going on in that state during that time. What was going on? It was before it became the United States. What were their rules on slavery? What was their rules on black marriages? Were all the births reported in the church records? Were they reported in the slaveholders' records? You know, because when you go back, you know, you see in their records with their livestock and stuff, they have their slaves listed.
Right. And you know, I know
So
he mentions like Africans willingly come on the boat, but like you have to think about it. There was like about 1 million European Christians that were enslaved by the northern,
yes.
you know, quote unquote Africans, right, in the 16th and 19th century. So indigenous people were all around the world, but in North America, they were already there. And I'm talking about specifically black people. Like you can read that.
And then I'll read about white people that came out here was slaves, you know, and you know, research is just a lot. It's a lot. So you can kind of like research the word slave and what it came from, the Slavic and all of that, you know, people that came over here and how they were using that word slave, you know, and looking at those what is it, the slave ships and all of that good stuff, the slave ships, and you're not gonna see that many as many as they say was transferred over here. You're not gonna see slave ships for all of that. You're not gonna see it. All them Africans coming over here because they documented everything on them ships.
Yep.
Okay. So if you don't have a family tree, like I said, you can set it up on Family Search or Ancestry. Ancestry has a free subscription, but you're not going to get much with it. You can research your information on your own and put it in your Ancestry. It'll be in there, but you don't get access to like newspapers and those kind of things. They're not going to give you. And say like you I believe if you put like a birth date and all that stuff in there, it may let you it may pop up for you, but it ain't gonna let you see the document.
No.
It ain't gonna let you save it. So yeah, because you know we can download them once we see them. We don't need
Right.
We'll figure out a way. So but Family Search has a lot of things that's also on Ancestry. Okay. And then software tools. We never know with things that's going on now. Now on your screen, is my words, little pictures covering up the words? Or is that just because the screen I'm looking at is small?
No, the pictures are covering up the words.
wasn't like that on my
Streaming, I'll be doing
Cornelius.
streaming. I'll be doing some weird stuff with like the presentations and stuff like that. So I don't know why it does that.
Okay. So
It's not you. It's not you. So
okay, because like I know I checked it. But the software allows you to download your information off of those websites, and you can have a spread. You can do spreadsheets. You can move them around. You can like put in information, then upload it back to Ancestry or Family Search. But it allows you to keep a record of your information that you have, basically your family tree. So in case anything happens, I highly recommend that you purchase some type of software to and download your stuff. Back it up on
yep.
your
Yep.
I said back it up. Back it up on your hard drive or something. So if anything happens, then you got your information that you know, and I say documents too. I'm saying documents too. Any documents you find on there, even though they don't consider them legal documents, it's still a
You'll
document.
yeah.
You can take that and go to a place and get the actual legal for your family members. Um, so, okay, and this here is just my information. I have a website, ediblegenealogy.com, and my Instagram. And then here is the book. It's called Roots and Branches of My Family Tree. And
And
that's just little snippets of it. And basically it's like, you know, how our great grandmothers or whatever had the family Bible and they would list the family members in it. And this is without the Bible. This is just a list of family members, a hard copy. And it's something good to go over with your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, to sit down and say, hey, do you know who your great grandmother? And just go through it with them and talk to them about it and, you know, help them learn their heritage. And then these are just some terms. And then like, if you don't buy the book, or if you do, even if you do or don't, but there are blank ancestral charts that you can jot down, like when you're speaking to family members and you fill in what you know first and then fill in the other information. But there are free charts and forms to fill out. Okay. And then helpful books and links.
what are some of the what do you think is like the top 6 links that anybody going on this journey should know or should have bookmarked?
Black Pearl Gin for sure. I mean, yeah, that one too. But let me go back. Black Pearls of Genealogy. This one here. And I know the guy. He has it where you can go step by step, but it's so much information on there. Just go in there and look around. bpog.org. Go on there and look around and see all the things that you can see. Click on your state that you're researching and see what kind of things on there. You can look up the Freedmen's Bureau and see all of that. It'll say you'll see some about Indians. There's some things on there about Indians never enslaved, and it's just different things on there. And then there's a portion where he does memorials. So like if you have a family cemetery and there's no markings or anything there, but you want to have a memorial for that entire cemetery, they do those type of things. And it's a couple of them on there. It's a few of them on there that you can see. And then of course, Ancestry and Family Search. Now, Black Pro Gen, they it's a group of Black people, different from different genres, whatever. You got Puerto Rican, you got couple of white people, but they all work together to tell you about researching your history. Even if you that Daughters of American Revolution and all that stuff, they talk about that. So if you go to Black Pro Gen or Who is Nika Smith, you'll see all the videos. You could just do a search for what you're looking for. If you're looking for Georgia, type that in, and all the videos pertaining to Georgia will pop up. Look at those videos. It'll tell you they each talk about the things. Would go to this place to research this. Definitely visit this. It tells you how to, prepare yourself if you go into the National Archives and those type of things. You got just all kind of information on the different states, and being mindful of the research that you're doing and your emotional state.
Yep.
Their time was their time, and it's not our time and how we think now. So they thought differently back then. So some things you may see, don't get caught up in it, and if you get into that too emotional point, take a break. Take a break away from it.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things happen, a lot of good things happen. I've seen people buy hundreds and hundreds of acres of land, and I'm like, where did you get money for this from? Like, in like the late 1870s, like a Black man with this much land, like where did the money come from?
Yeah.
And then I'm seeing that he was denied a liquor license. You see all these people getting liquor license, they ain't Black. Then he's being denied, So I'm like, okay, maybe he had a little thing going on, underhanded thing, but he had his money, but they sold him the land, you know what I'm saying? They sold it to him. So, and it passed down that heirs property and stuff like that. So, and then I said Black Pearls of Genealogy. It just covers everything. Let me see what's up. Oh, that's the last slide. Okay.
It's all good either way. Shoot.
Yeah. So Janine talks about she's the one that does the research into the heirs land. Is that right?
Yeah.
She does the heirs land. She's really good with that. And Alea, she does genealogy also. So if you're not do this research as much as you can. If you don't want to do the work, then you can contact them. You can contact me also, but I'm gonna tell you now, I don't take a lot of clients at once, so it's gonna take time. And my period is once I start, I got 7 weeks. You get 7 weeks to finish it, and you'll see my fees and everything on the website.
So, interruption. We do have a question for you, Minister Mia.
Do you think we should use family first names to like in my family? Do you think we should use family first names too? Like in my family, a lot of men share the first name Ronald. But when you say use them for what? To research?
Or to use them as like to carry it on. Like you want to clarify that.
To keep the name going?
Yeah, clarify that. We don't know. We don't know, Minister Yogi. Or
yes, yes. You're gonna use the first name and the last name. And when a lot of times when I get those same names, I'll look at the other people in his family, like his wife, his children, his siblings, and follow that sibling in order to follow him and not get, distracted with another person that has that same name.
Yep.
And that, let's see.
So okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I was thinking about that question about the Africans. Yeah, it could have been some Africans that came over here willfully, but not knowing that they was going to be enslaved. It could have been tricked in coming over here.
I mean, you got to think about it. There was a lot of trips that were being from from North America to Africa,
Yes.
and Africa to they did a lot of trade and commerce.
Trading. Yes. There was a lot of trading going on.
So
yeah.
What are some how do you get around roadblocks okay, you may have heard your second grandfather's name, but there's a gap between your mom and that, and so how do you usually start to investigate to kind of fill that gap? Because some people they be they're not even sure if that's the name. They I've heard that.
Right. So what I would do is take that mother and research her as far back as I can, the mother. And then when you see the mother, you have her birth certificate, you have her marriage license. In some cases, some marriage license list the mother and father of each, the bride and the groom.
Yep.
And where they're from. You can do that. You can also, after the mother and father, when you get to certain points, there's no birth certificate. If you look at Family Search and you go in there and click on the Wiki tree, it's called Wiki something. And when you click on that, it'll give you the map of the all the maps. And so you find your area that you're looking for and narrow it down. Once you get to that city, that state, it's going to show you when they started keeping death records, when they started keeping birth certificates. It's going to have the year that they started. If it's before that, they're not going to have it. So then that's when you look at the church records. You look at, depending on when it is, the Freedmen's Bureau was 1865, 65 through 68 or something like that. And you can check the Freedmen's Bureau.
Yeah.
If it was during slavery times, you may not have a birth record. But that's when you start looking at, okay, if you find them and they're working for a slaveholder or whatever, they're under a slaveholder, then you start researching that slaveholders' information. Don't disregard them, because we're finding a lot of our stuff in their records. We're finding a lot about us in their records, because they keep their records on themselves. Now, when they pass down, if the slaveholder died prior to slaves being freed, then you're going to find a deed where them slaves were given to a family member, another family member. So you can trace a family that way if they were enslaved. If they were free, then you have the cards, the freeman cards, whatever they were called. You have those cards that they had to carry. Look at the state and see if that was a requirement for them. Was it manumissions? I feel like it's called a manumissions card.
I think.
But you can look at that. You can look, see if anybody was in the military, if the mother had siblings, or her parents, aunts and uncles, any of them was in the military, and you can see their military records and see that'll take you further back, because the mother's siblings will have the same they will have the same aunts and uncles.
Yeah.
So that means they have the same grandmother and grandfather. So you look at those things. That's why I say pick one person and research that one person until you've done all you can do. Then go to a next one. And when I do that, I like to look at that. I always like to look at that oldest child, because following that oldest child, it gives me a lot more information.
They've been around.
So you said, yeah, it'll probably list the father's whole name.
Government
name. Yeah.
I agree with that. So, what questions y'all have on genealogy? I know y'all be having questions because
who was that who did their homework?
That was the minister or Dr. Kwahu who did his homework. So, Aboshi Cacao.
He didn't have no questions. And that cacao be good. Oh my God. I made it with some hemp milk.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. It was nice and chocolatey. It was chocolatey.
Chocolatey. It is. That's funny. No, it'd be hidden. What questions y'all got, chat? We had a couple of chat questions, so we just trying to make sure that we cover y'all's curiosity questions related to genealogy.
Let me see. Trying to think some things that were okay. So in my case, I have a fourth generation grandmother, and I'm not sure. She's from Mississippi. So based on the census records, she was born in her parents is from Mississippi, and she was born in Mississippi. And some records say she was born in Arkansas. So, and then the husband, he was born in Georgia. Mm-hmm. So now I have two people, I don't know their parents. I have nothing with their parents' names on them. I don't have a birth certificate for either one. So Letty, her name is Letty, and I'm finding her name with a person named John Mason. So John Mason is the slaveholder, and he wasn't that much older than her. And so no, his father, I think he named after his father. So I found a deed where he bought a young girl, 9 years old, named Letty. Can't read the person who sold it to him. Can't read the name for nothing. It's a Smith. So you know how Smith, like really? Yeah. So looking for that. And then I find out that a lot of times you're not going to have the deed where they sold the person to another because they had to pay taxes on them. And they didn't want to pay taxes. So they was selling slaves under the table.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
So I look back to Mississippi. Mississippi is big. So I don't know what part of Mississippi or anything. So I look up Letty, and there's so many Letty Masons. Oh my God. It's just, I'm like, really? And they Black. Mm. So it's like, okay. I gotta search his family.
Yeah.
I gotta research his family in order to get me back to Mississippi and what area of Mississippi he was in, and see how, because I believe she was passed down.
Yeah.
From somebody. So that's extra research. And then the thing is, I got to do a spreadsheet, and just to keep it organized for myself, I have to do a spreadsheet. I had to start a tree for him and working through that tree. And sometimes you got to do extra work if you really trying to find somebody. You doing extra work.
Yep.
So if I'm doing all that, a book might have to come out of that. Because that's where we get books from, other people doing work in different states. And you
Yep.
end up with a book that somebody done wrote, and they done went and did all the marriages in that state and put them in the book, and that kind of thing. So that can turn into an income source. Did all that research.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So searching those libraries, Family Search online. Family Search online has a lot. And if you're not familiar with what they have, I suggest you look at YouTube videos that show you how to use Family Search, and look at the ones that are now, close to now, because things have changed. They got a lot of new stuff, a lot of new using AI integrated into their search engines.
Mm-hmm. They're pulling data from everywhere.
Yes.
So including
Yes.
Ancestry.
Yep. And sometimes if you don't know where to look on Family Search or Ancestry, Google it and say, after you type what you're gonna type, put Family Search after it, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
Put Ancestry after it, it'll come up. And when you click on it, take you to that part in the Ancestry, in their information. So
Where can people contact you?
you can contact me at miashi@ediblegenealogy.com. You can see that up there, but it's miashi@ediblegenealogy.com.
What's your website?
ediblegenealogy.com.
All right. So let's go to ediblegenealogy.com. I know I like doing that. So make sure y'all can see the website.
Did you do the homework, the first homework from? Oh, that was you asking the question.
Yeah, I was asking the chat if everybody did their homework. So let me share this real quick. Just want to make sure. So this is where you need to go. Y'all can't
There's
tell.
when you go to Black Pro Gen and type in Puerto Rico, go to YouTube, look up Black Pro Gen, and then type in Puerto Rico. There's a lady, her name is Ellen. She did a lot of that research. I think Teresa, I think she did Puerto Rico too. So it's two of them. The intake form. Yeah.
This is where you can go buy that book. There's another book.
And then the video, you can see the video from the first part of this.
Yep. Right here. Getting started. This is part one. So go watch that. Let's see. You can also go to the ancestral culture. So there's a lot of things going on over here. We want y'all to go check this out.
So like under each tab, you got the agricultural tab, and then you got the genealogy tab.
Yep. All right here. And if you're not sure, contact. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the home page. This is Minister Miashi. Busting it down. Yeah. So any questions, y'all still? I just try to make sure. Says Mr. Yogi said she was thorough with this. So I don't have questions. Good.
Thank you. I don't want to just overwhelm everybody because it is a lot of information. It's a lot of information. And You know, it's not just something you just throw together. And when you looking for this stuff and you finding information on your family and you like, wow, you know, school records. They had school records too that you could look at. I forget what's called, an educational something that you can look up. The children that were school age, you know, and basically,
You got a question? You got a question from the doc, Sister Mia?
My grandmother's grandmother was on the Trail of Tears. Wow, I'm trying to find her first name. What is the best way to achieve this? Do you know your grandmother? Your grandmother's name? Your actual grandmother? So that would be your great grandmother. So if you don't know if you know your grandmother's name and you know her spouse, her children, which would be your aunts and uncles, you will have to go through their records and kind of follow them backwards to see. Start with the oldest child. You know, if there's something with that great grandmother's name on it. So depending on when your grandmother was born, where she was born, you want to look at those records first. Trace your grandmother back as far as you can. That should put you somewhere. Check the marriage license. If the marriage license was the type that will put the mother and father of the groom, the bride and groom, that's a way. If you find her birth record, if it was a delayed birth, I don't know how old your grandmother is. Sometimes there's delayed birth records. You have the Freedmen's Bureau. You have the Freedmen's Bureau. Yeah, check those. And death records, your grandmother's death certificate. If someone that grew up like a family member was the informant on the death certificate, it's more likely that they will have the correct information on the death certificate.
Hold on, I'm sorry. So another thing I would suggest too, because I think there's multiple directions that could go. I think a 20-minute call with you would be beneficial.
Yeah. 20-minute, I forgot I do the 20-minute consultations. I do have to set up my calendar. That's been a challenge for me, to set up the calendar. And it'll probably be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, like from 10 to 2 or something like that, that I'll have times in those areas, those general areas. But yeah, I can point you in a direction and things like that. It's $25 for 20 minutes.
It should have a calendar integrated into this website that you have with GoDaddy. So
it's free.
Yeah, it's
free. Okay, because somebody told me Calendly was Black owned, so I was trying to see how I could use it. But
I mean,
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
it. Either way, it's just, the person's able to book the consultation. They look at availability, and then they pay, and then it's booked, and then it's on your calendar. Yeah. So that's why. And plus, you don't have to pay anything extra. So
right. Okay. Good. Yeah, because some of that stuff I was clicking on, it was like more money.
Right.
I'm like, wait a minute.
No. It should be free. He always said he was able to make it simple for us. through though, because now I know where to start.
Okay.
Good,
Yeah.
good, good.
And then like I offer services where the coaching services, that's in there also. If you need me to walk you through certain, things, then that is a 2 hour. So I suggest, based on that price, that you have, what you collected so far, have it together, before you schedule.
Yep.
All the information, put it in if you have to print out those blank sheets and fill them out, do that. I'm telling you, I started with a little notebook, a one subject notebook, and I was using Ancestry, the free version, and the library card, my little library card. I was using it on the computer, and I'll fill in my stuff, and I'll run to the library. And then I found out about the Family Search Center, and then one of the groups I found out that about the Genealogy Center out in Dallas, and I just went nuts from there. Yeah, and I'm on a family account with Ancestry with another person, and we share the fee because it's expensive when you get access to the newspapers and the Fold 3 and all of that. A lot of them things used to be more easily available, but now they are cost. They don't have free versions, So
$54.
yeah. So I suggest you go to the library, those libraries that have the Ancestry edition, and go there and use them. Go to the family search centers and use their computers and find your information. You can take your flash drive. Don't forget your flash drive when you leave, like I did one time over a weekend. Ooh, boy, I was calling every number I could find. The pastor called me back. He like, we gonna get you your flash drive. Oh, shoot. But yeah, so you can do that, save to your flash drive. And when you go to those family centers, they have free printing. So, I use it. I sure do.
Take advantage.
Yeah.
So, what other questions y'all have for Minister Mia? Listen, she dropping some gems on y'all. She's dropping some nuggets, gold nuggets, and so, I try to set the boundary first. So that's why if you saw me flash the website, I'm her salesman. So no, but we appreciate y'all's participation. So like, keep the questions coming. I know y'all be asking about genealogy because y'all be asking me.
They ain't gonna think about them till after we hang up. Then we're like, oh yeah, I should have asked.
Next time I'll refer
asking all kind of questions then.
Refer to the website ediblegenealogy.com. So any chat, y'all still there? I see y'all there. No questions? Mr. Mia, any last words or things you want to leave with the audience?
Don't sleep on your history. Don't sleep on your ancestry. Don't sleep on your lineage. Tell your children and your nieces and nephews, because I be quizzing mine all the time. And they be looking at me like I'm crazy. Tell them where they came from. Tell them where they got this and that from. They have their own superstars in their family. A lot of musicians and people that, blacksmiths and people that had horses and, all kind of animals and stuff. They find that fascinating, and allow them to participate because they like that.
Yep.
And you need to know too, your family. So I didn't think about it till I was, grown. That hey, I don't even know who my great grandma is. It's a trip to go through life and not even think about stuff like that. Just so consumed with what's going on in the world, you're not thinking about your own family. So like back in the day, they used to like tell their children, just go over and over with their children who their family members were.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you may find when you find them ancestors or whatever that married their cousins, you'll hear people saying, well, they was the second cousin and this and that. You're gonna find first cousins married.
And that's
You're
what you
gonna find them, and it's in the way it was explained to me, and it make a lot of sense. Just think, they had no transportation.
Mm-hmm.
They had to walk everywhere they went. So it was like little communities. So who were they going to marry, and have children with? There was no, they couldn't go far.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, oh, I understand. Yeah, that makes sense. And don't make up stories when you find your relatives. Don't make up stories. Go by what you see. She had all these kids, and he married her and helped her. If the woman had 5, 10 kids, and the person married her, really, and then they had 10 more, I don't think so. I don't think it was a problem. I don't think it was looked at as they love that person or whatever. Or they needed a mother for their kids. You never know.
Right. Inferred parents.
Hey. But it was like, yeah.
So sister thought that was funny. It was funny actually. So, but yeah. No, I mean, if nothing else, I always have to make sure that we say thank you for the attention, the time, and energy for the seminar, sermon, class that Mr. Mia has put together. So we really do appreciate her taking the time to do that, and we appreciate y'all's attendance and participation. And
yes, thank you.
I'm certain that we'll have her back on for another sector, whether it be in agriculture or genealogy. That'll be up to her. So she'll be back. She won't be a stranger. She's got big things coming. But if you need services, go to ediblegenealogy.com, like you see on the screen right here, right? And you go to the shop, and this is where you can find all different things, from the books, right, to the consultation. If you need just quick guidance, like I just need a quick hit, don't spend too much now. It's just 20 minutes. So
right.
If you want somebody to do the full genealogy report for you, what she can do, she does an amazing job at that. Then you would go here. You would just need to fill out the intake first, and then make sure that you put as much information as you can, and then you make the purchase, right? But if you want just the paternal lineage report, then you would go here. Again, you still need to fill out the intake. And if you want the maternal lineage, again, the same thing, fill out the intake. And if you just need coaching, like you like, man, I think I got it. I need 2 hours, which this must be a holiday special, because this is. I'll talk to you about that later. So yeah, here she's running the special. So yeah, you can get coaching services from her too. So either way, I think this is a good place for you to stop and do some business with Sister Mia. So yes, this is valuable. We appreciate you for your attendance and just your attention.
Yes.
Web link for the website. I'm gonna put the link for the website again in the chat. Give me 1 second, but it's ediblegenealogy.com right here. I'm gonna put the shop right here. I'm gonna flash on screen, y'all. I'm gonna flash on screen. This is where y'all need to go. Okay. Say, don't go to Wobb's website. You can go to Wobb's website, but just scroll down to ediblegenealogy.com and go there. I'm just gonna redirect you. So any genealogy questions, agriculture, just go to me.
And another thing, I plan to travel to go to Mississippi. I didn't get to go this year, but I plan to go there and go through their archives and look for my fourth generation grandmother. And then I have other family members that's from Mississippi. So I plan to go there and look them up.
Y'all.
And don't be discouraged when you see these burn counties, because just because the county have burned records, somehow all of them burned around the same time. Get it? But different counties. There are other records you can use to take the place of that. So, you know, every single thing then burn up, and then, you know, where they finding records in people's houses and stuff.
They still got records, like they ain't destroyed all of them. Just out here telling the narrative.
Somebody died, they got all the records they've been looking for in their house. Trying to hide that they family done stole this and that. I don't know what the heck.
But yeah. Now we appreciate y'all's attention. We appreciate y'all's time, energy. Ediblegenealogy.com is where you need to go to get your genealogy research done and reports done and consultation, coaching, agriculture, all that. You'll get that done here. And if you do happen to come across hawabdfw.org or hawab.org and you're needing genealogy, we're just going to tell you to go to ediblegenealogy.com. Okay. Otherwise, we will see y'all tomorrow for the last session of the Book of You, and we'll close it out before the Night of Power. So other than that, peace, family, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Peace.
We out.